What's up, everybody? Welcome to the round 14 preview. Carlton and the GWS Giants. It is damn good to be back. It took me a while to feel good again, but I do feel good again. There's a lot going on at the moment. Obviously, with Victoria, restrictions are slowly but surely being lifted. I think the week off was just something everybody needed. Fans, players, club officials, everything. It's a time to reflect. We know that there's a review that's going on. We know that there's a lot going on. Was it a ploy just to shut everyone up for a little bit? Who knows? Who knows? But the reality is, time heals all wounds. And this club is really just like a toxic relationship. You know you shouldn't go back, but you always find a way to go back. It's a marriage. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, it's the Carlton Football Club is nothing but a giant red flag, and that's just the long and short of it at the moment. But the week off brought me some fresh energy. I specifically tried to stay away from making as many videos as possible just to get that break in, just to realign with what's going on. And I think now that the announcement with the restrictions being eased has come, I'm feeling a lot more of a pep in my step. I'm flying up to Sydney this Saturday night. I'm there for some more pain. I was flying up irrespective. Apparently, the travel requirements have changed now. As long as you haven't been to one of the the tier 1 or tier 2 exposure sites. So I'm going, whether they like it or not. I'm going. They're going to need an army to take me down. But I'm excited for that interstate trip. That's what this is all about. And we come up against the Giants. And there's so many things at play here. There's so many things I want to talk about, but I do want to condense this video and not have it drag on too much. We know that the season is most likely done. And I understand that notion. But at the same time, for me, every game is important. Every game you play is an opportunity to improve and move forward in the direction that you're trying to go. And at the end of the day, we're trying to win a flag. That's what it is. It's not going to be this year. Probably not going to be next year. But at the end of the day, you got to take each week for what it is. Every single second of match practice or match opportunity is an opportunity that you can't go without, you can't waste. And those are winning principles from, across the world. So I don't care where we're at on the ladder. I don't care what's happened this season. What I know is this is a talented group. What I know is this group is capable of beating the Giants. And what I know is if you're capable, there's an expectation because you take the field, you're part of the Carlton Football Club, you represent not only your other teammates, you represent the fans, you represent your families, you represent everyone who does anything with their time and putting that into the Carlton Football Club. And so there's a paramount, significance to this week for me. There will be no lying down and, the season's done and get pumped by 8-9 goals. There will be none of that because it's about, if it's not about finals, then it's about pride. And that's very important to the supporters. So I'm excited. Am I drinking the Kool-Aid this week? Probably a little bit. I reckon we can do it. I'm pretty confident we can do it this week. I really am. The Giants are not so different to us in that they've got so much talent, but it falls apart when it comes down to system. And, they play, when they are playing well, it looks really good. But when they're not playing so well, it's, that they are patchy as well, just like us. It's very interesting. And, we've got a few guys to come back into the side. Plowman, it looks like he's ready to come back into the side. And I would think he does come back into the side. I don't know where Sam Petrevski-Seton's at, if he's ready to start playing AFL again, but he's definitely an option there. And also there's a mentality issue for me. Like, what are we doing with the rest of the season? Are we now not playing guys like Murphy, Eddie Betts, Ed Kerno? Like, Levi was already out of the side. So what is the mentality? That's where I don't really have a read on what we're going to do this week. It's going to be fascinating to listen to David Teague's press conference and see the lineups. Like, what are we doing? Are we going to have the mentality of this is who's on our list for 2020, so we're going to utilize and pick the best team? Or are we going to move away into listen Ed, listen Murph, listen, the older guys who are not going to be in that premiership side? There's just a big unknown for me, and I don't, as much as I have an expectation on winning and all of that, the reality is I'm definitely taking a step back, and I just want to see what they're going to dish up this week, so I can then decide what sort of expectations to put on them for the rest of the season. What we do know is things have to get better than what they have been. There's no doubt about that. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of opportunity to show some growth for this season yet and build into something for next year. So that's really what I'm looking for. I think I definitely would be bringing Lockie Plowman in, but not at the expense of Liam Stocker. And this is where it's just my opinion. Like, I'll be devastated if Stocker gets dropped for Lockie Plowman. I would rather see someone like a Cottrell come out of the side, Lockie Plowman come in, and then Liam Stocker go up the ground and get some midfield minutes and start developing him there. I think he's had a very nice apprenticeship playing on the dangerous small forwards in the competition and learning how to be accountable. I think it's time to now hone in on what he is naturally good at and let that experience come at AFL level. Whether it's all midfield time or split up somewhere else, I'm not really sure, but I'd like to see that personally. So there is that. It's great to have, the buy for guys like a Jack Martin, guys like a Zach Fisher, guys like a Tom De Koning who are, recently back into the team and get that extra week to freshen up. So, from our point of view, I'm pretty excited. Now, from their point of view, they looked really good at times against North Melbourne, and then they just fell apart and they ended up coming away with a draw. And in a funny way, I wish they had have just snuck the win, because now I feel like they're going to be pissed off and they're going to have a rocket put up them and they're going to come out firing this week. But it looks like Perryman will come in. I had a look on their website. It looks like he will come in this week, and he's obviously a problem for us. We know Toby Green's already back in the side, and that's probably the Lockie Plowman matchup there. So, they have good/great individuals. Their midfield power is unreal, but it wasn't unreal for long enough against North Melbourne, and I think we can provide them with a challenge in the midfield. Really, it's going to be about, what's the team spirit going to be for us? Are we going to come and figure out a way to have a collective mindset and play together? I don't know. We are very excited about the news at the time of filming this. I don't know what the injury report is, but what we do know is Harry Mackay has re-signed, which is really good news, really positive, and who knows, maybe that's going to be a spark within the group that can carry in and translate through to Saturday night. Based on Harry's language, there seems to be a united front and a trust from players to coaches. He really spoke glowingly of David Teague, and I think that's a positive for the group and the morale. And I guess as supporters, we try and take something out of every word that we hear from the players, even if it could be scripted, it could be dictated to what to say. I don't know, but the reality is I took Harry's word for what it was. They all seem to think that it's going in the right direction. It's just going to take some more time. Who knows what the magic formula is? But something for sure needs to change in terms of that team spirit. I want to see us hunt them for long enough. I don't want to see lapses in concentration. I want to see the intangibles, the basics, the fundamental principles of a brotherhood and a mateship. When you go to battle and you're there for your teammate, you block for your teammate, things like that. I would hope that when we tackle with some intent and just play with a real spirit, not so different to the way we played against Essendon. So that's really what I'm looking for. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Got the boys back. I think we definitely needed a week off because things were getting really tense. It was really, really tense around here. But there is a refreshed mindset. Hopefully that has filtered through to everyone else. Let me know in the comments below. How was your week off? How was it having no disappointment? Let me know what that feels like, because I know it felt good for me. And let me know what you're doing with the team. I really want to hone in on what is your mentality with this team moving forward. Is it just play the kids at all costs, or do we still, do you still want to see them trying to have a dip at finals? I understand, the reality is we'd have to win, 8 of our next 10 to make finals. And that's, we're talking in a bit of a fantasy there. Not that it's not possible, but there's a really small possibility that will happen. But where is your mentality? Have you given up on making finals? And if so, what are you doing with selection? Are you bringing in these older guys to play again? Does Levi Casbolt come back into this team? Or are you looking to play a guy like a Josh Honey or whoever the case may be? Let me know. Good to be back. Fan cams should be back. I'm going to be at the game, so I'll figure out a way to get them done. And I look forward to being back, and hopefully we can have a strong, second half of the season and build towards something, because we cannot just keep, floating in no man's land. We have to be moving forward to something. So that's how I see it. Looking forward to chatting with you in the comments. And as always, go the Mighty Blues.